Everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next anime review. Today we will be talking about Sword Art Online. Now, before we get started, I just want to say spoiler alert. There are spoilers in this, and a lot of them. So if you have not seen the entire series, do not watch this video unless you want spoilers. That being said, if you have seen it or if you don't mind spoilers for whatever reason, feel free to watch this video. Now, let's get started. Okay. Now, Sword Art Online, it's a great anime. It's an odd one for me because I actually had a few spoilers before watching it. One of my best friends actually told me quite a bit about it just a couple of weeks before I heard that it was going to be on Toonami. So, yeah, it kind of sucked for me on that regard, but still a great anime. I actually really enjoyed it. Um, yeah, it was just a great anime. So what's it about? Well, it's about video games, really. It's set in about 30 years from now, I think, somewhere around there. When, so, I guess that's kind of dated. So about, the year 2030 or so. Well, 20, yeah, 2030. I guess it's only 20 years now. Time flies. Anyways, so it's set around then, and basically they've invented virtual reality video gaming, which sounds pretty cool. So what's going on? Well, this guy named Kazuto, he's an avid virtual reality fan. So he's playing these games, and there's this one that's coming out soon called Sword Art Online, which he becomes a beta tester for, and he learns this game inside and out better than pretty much anybody else. So when the game finally comes out, he gets really big into it. Except for when it comes out, there's a little bit of a difference. Like they removed the logout button, so now everyone is trapped in the game, and if they die in the game, they die for real. And if you try and remove the helmet, you die. So pretty much you're trapped in the game, and this game is now real life for you for the most part. So yeah, kind of sucks for a lot of people. Now Kirito, as he's known in the game, um, he's an avid player, so he goes out and he decides to make the most of this. He's going to get as strong as he possibly can, so he goes out and starts power leveling because he knows how to do it. Eventually, they end up taking the on the first floor, and he meets Asuna at that point after they beat the boss of the first floor. Um, then from there, it talks about the social aspects a lot, so it skips a lot of floors after that. He meets this one group where um, he vows to protect this one girl who's all scared, and pretty much everyone in that group ends up getting killed, and he feels horrible. Um, there's a lot of stuff like that that happens where he tries to protect people and it doesn't end up going so well. I mean, they don't always die, but it doesn't end up working out that well. Eventually, him and Asuna end up hitting it off. They end up falling in love. Um, then they end up with a daughter, oddly enough, who's actually an AI program, Yui. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting little twist that ends up. She's actually designed as an AI counselor, but yeah, she calls them mommy and daddy, so it's kind of cute. They got their little family going. Um, then eventually, um, Asuna actually, she ends up one of the major guilds. She's in charge of it, second in command. So it's pretty impressive. Kirito's just a solo player. He doesn't team up with anybody. And, well, he's one of the strongest players in the game, so he's handling it. He actually has a cool skill called dual wielding, which nobody else has. Eventually, he ends up joining, against his will, the guild that Asuna's in after losing a fight to the leader of the guild, uh, which he was kind of surprised that he lost. Then he ends up almost getting killed. There's a big thing with him and Asuna. Then you end up finding out that the leader of the guild is actually the creator of the game and the final boss. Um, Kirito then ends up fighting him again, only on fair terms because he cheated in the first one. Um, and Kirito beats him and wins the game. Then after that, everybody gets out except for a few people, one of them being Asuna. And the person who trapped them is the guy who inherited the game, who actually knows Asuna in the real world and has a pretty sick crush on her. Um, yeah. So Kirito goes back into this new game called Alfheim Online, where Asuna is being kidnapped and held hostage. So he meets up with this girl Lifa, who helps him out, who turns out to be his sister, who's really his cousin, which is kind of complicated, especially when you start throwing in the fact that she ends up with a major crush on him, both in the real world and in the game, which they don't realize that they're who they are. Yeah, he doesn't realize that Lifa's his sister, um, and she doesn't know that that's him. So it gets really complicated. Um, things end up working out though because, well, yeah, it turns out it's just misplaced brotherly love. So it ends up working out. He ends up beating the game, saving Asuna after this like almost rape scene. It would have been a rape scene if Kirito hadn't stopped it partway through. So he saves her with the help of the guy who created the game. Then they get out of the game, and he has to fight this guy again in the real world because the guy comes at him with a knife. So yeah, a little bit crazy there. That he ends up almost dead in the real world from that. He ends up fending him off, and then calling the cops, and finally getting to see Asuna for real. Um, yeah, on the last episode, and then he got this game seed. He got the seed for a new game, and yeah, he created that, and it's kind of a happily ever after at the end. So it was a good anime all in all. I really enjoyed it. Uh, so yeah, I liked it. Other than some of the weird stuff like Kirito's sister falling for him, and some of that rape stuff towards the end was a little bit weird. But other than that, it was a great anime. Anyways, tell me what you think. Leave a little comment. Please like the video. I could really use the support. Subscribe to my channel. And anyways, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.